can see your screen now.
All right, thank you. So you didn't lose me. Long ago, I was still on cultural barriers. So like I was saying, that there may be pressure from the people around us because of what they have to. If your mother, for example, was introduced to complementary feeds at 2 or 3 months by your grandmother, and your mother practiced the same, and there's this usual or common saying that if I was at 2 months or at 3 months and I am okay today, what will happen to my baby if I introduce complementary feeds at 3 months? They will still be okay because because you say you are okay, so the baby will be okay. But it is important for us to note that breastfeeding is extremely important. And some of the people who went before us, for example, our parents, our grandparents, they didn't know much like we do now. They did not maybe appreciate information that they have, and that may have informed their decisions on how they fed their children. So it is important for us to support the people around us, be it our family, but it's important for us to take up the role of supporting them to be able to practice exclusive breastfeeding and to continue with breastfeeding as much as possible. Some of the other cultural barriers would be that most people believe that breast milk is not complete food. So they believe that breast milk is just a snack that would be appropriate for the baby, maybe for the first 1 or 2 or 3 months. Then after 3 months, especially, a lot of people say that this baby is ready to feed, and so they need food. A lot of people also, especially those who have been brought up in the extended family setup or in the rural setup, there's a lot of influence that comes in there. And many people believe or tend to believe that a baby crying is because they are hungry. So anytime a baby cries, that means that the baby is hungry. While that may be true, it may not be absolutely true. It is important for us to note that babies cry for various reasons. Hunger is just one of them. So let us endeavor not to be part of those who put pressure on mothers that your baby cries a lot, that means your baby is always hungry, or your baby never gets full on breast milk, and that means you need to introduce the baby to other feeds. And there are some cultures that also value their traditional staple foods, and they may want to introduce their children to these staple foods quite early. For example, I've seen some people introducing children to cow milk, saying that cow milk is very good because it gives children a lot of strength. It helps children to be strong, and it makes them healthy. That may not be true for children under 1 year. So it is very important for us to note that these things are cultural beliefs that hinder the achievement of exclusive breastfeeding, but it may be helpful, for example, to have the babies take cow milk later after 1 year. But it is not true that this is what will make them to be strong and healthy before they attain the age of 1 year. So it is important for us, as we get this information, let us endeavor to support the people within our circles and also to educate them on the importance of exclusive breastfeeding before 6 months, and also importance of continued breastfeeding after a child attains 6 months until a minimum of 2 years. That way the baby will be able to get all the full benefits of breast milk. Number 2, we have social barriers. Majorly for social barriers, studies have shown that women with low education status are slower or more reluctant to take up exclusive breastfeeding, and they are also more reluctant to continue with breastfeeding. Why is this? It is mostly associated with lack of information or poor understanding of the importance of breastfeeding. So it is good for us to educate the people again that are within our circles, so that the people that are limited because of maybe education level or limited because of access to information, let us take up the role to educate them and to help them understand why it is recommended that babies ought to breastfeed exclusively for 6 months and should be allowed to continue breastfeeding up to at least 2 years. And by the way, between 6 months to 1 year, breast milk is still the main source of nutrition for the baby, but we introduce complementary feeds. But breast milk is still the main source of nutrition. So it is important for the baby to be allowed to continue breastfeeding and breastfeeding adequately. And so it is also important that mothers get empowered with this information, because if a mother is aware that the baby is going to be breastfeeding for longer, they will be emotionally prepared, they will be psychologically prepared, they will also be willing to do the work of breastfeeding and maintaining breast milk supply, because maintaining breast milk supply requires a level of intentionality. Otherwise, if you just allow it to move by nature, then there are many instances where women tend to experience a dip in their milk supply, and because of that, some of them end up stopping breastfeeding. Number 3, we have economic barriers. And with economic barriers, in our current society, we have a lot of working women, a lot of women who go to work, whether they do businesses or are employed formally, or they do some kind of work. And because of this, you find that many women will be at home for, say, 3 months, which is recommended by the government. Some may be lucky to have more, but a majority will get maybe 3 months with the baby. And after 3 months, the mother goes back to work, and going back to work may mean spending long hours away from the baby. And because of this, there's reduced number of times where you're going to be breastfeeding. This reduces the amount of milk that a mother produces. And because of this, the mother may tend to let go the ambition or the commitment to exclusively breastfeed up to 6 months. So it's important for mothers who are working to be empowered from before they even give birth, to be empowered to know that they will be going back to work after delivery at some point. So it's important to plan and get ready from the day of delivery. From the day you deliver, have the awareness that you will go back to work at a certain point. And so how are you going to prepare for that? How will you continue feeding your baby after you go back to work, so that when that time comes, you're not found, you're not caught unawares, and there's a smooth transition as the baby continues probably to get care from a different person, but you ensure that the baby continues to get breast milk. So it is important for you as a working mother, have plans in place. If you know you're going to be away from the baby, say for 8 hours, have arrangements on how you're going to be pumping or expressing the milk, how you will store it, and how you will carry it back home, so that your baby continues to have a constant supply of breast milk. Then we have the fourth one, which is maternal factors. There are factors within a mother that can affect their breastfeeding journey generally. It may have to do with the breast milk itself or outside breast milk production. So one, we have nipples. Nipples is the nipples is the let me say the channel through which the baby feeds, right? So if a mother experiences a challenge with the nipples, then that means there's a challenge with how the baby is going to feed. One of the common challenges is let me say it's a natural challenge, but it has solutions. We have women who have flat nipples, or some who have inverted nipples. So the normal nipples that we know, where you find that a nipple is slightly protruding out of the breast, that is called a protruding nipple. And that is the normal nipple and the common one amongst women. However, we have some women who have flat nipples. That means the nipple is there, but it is just on the same level of the breast. Around the areola is the black part that surrounds the nipple. So you find that the nipple and the areola are just at the same level. You may barely tell the difference because nothing is protruding. And we have some women also who have inverted nipples. And inverted nipples, they appear as if they are tucked in. So the nipple is there, but it appears as if it is slightly tucked into the areola. So for such women, they may experience challenges with latching, and latching is how you attach the baby to the breast. They may experience challenges with latching, and so it's important that as a woman, it is good for you to understand the type of nipple that you have and prepare to get adequate support when that time comes. If you're a man and you have your wife who has flat nipples or inverted nipples, it's important to support them, to have them get help, because basically with flat and inverted nipples, it is all about latching positions, and the mother may need a coaching on how to latch the baby. They may also need a lot of support and reassurance in the process, because the baby is learning and the mother is also learning. So they may need a lot of support in the process. If mothers do not get this kind of support, we have a lot of mothers who give up breastfeeding because they feel like when they have challenges with latching and the baby is not able to latch, and of course a hungry baby will be crying, they'll be fussy, the mother will get anxious, then they tend to resolve to get other methods of feeding. In such instances, a quick solution, and most mothers give up breastfeeding in this period. So it's important for us to offer support and to know that support is available for women who have flat nipples or inverted nipples, and women with such kind of nipples can also breastfeed successfully. We also have nipple shields are available in the mashed on the nipple, and then the baby can attach or can latch to the nipple shield and can be able to suckle milk. Then we have also sore nipples. Sore nipples majorly occurs when there's poor latching. So when there's poor latching over a period of time, a few days, you may find that the nipples begin to crack. They may begin to form small wounds. That means it will be very painful for the mother to breastfeed. So if the mother is experiencing pain when breastfeeding, she will tend to avoid it.